on YouTube.
Yes.
I first saw some of your videos years ago, a long time ago. I think the first time the first time everyone discovered your videos was about 2007, and I think
Yes.
that's about 10 years ago now.
Yes.
But yeah, I first noticed your work, and I think everyone was really excited about it. So that's how I first discovered you, and I researched who made the videos, and I found out about you, and I contacted you, and I'm not sure how long we've been talking now on Facebook trying to plan this interview. It's been
Since August, because in August I installed Facebook Messenger, and there was a filter. When I put out the filter, I received 90 messages from you and other people, and I answered to everybody. And
wow. So you just recently started doing Facebook, like this year?
No, I was since 2009, I think.
Yeah.
And I never installed Messenger, so I got all the message in August. Very old messages, yes.
Right, that's what I'm saying, because I think a lot of people were trying to find you and contact you about what you've created. But I think, but somehow you were not online, so it was very difficult to contact with you.
Yes.
Let me just do an intro. Hello, everyone. My name is Doc, or Chad. By the way, my name's Chad. So nice to meet you. And Doc, hello, everyone. This is Doc with Doc's World, and I am here interviewing Mr. Speth, Mr. Thierry, and he's the creator of the Apollo 20 missions and the Alien Mona Lisa, and he has a new book out called Apollo 20, The Unknown Mission, or Apollo 20, La Mission Inconnue. And he is an amazing artist and filmmaker of the 21st century. So thank you again for meeting with me today. I'm really happy.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Speth?
Okay, I live in the northeast of France, near Luxembourg, Belgium, and Germany. I have always been here in France, and it's a steel industry part of France. But unfortunately, it does not function anymore. And when I was 15, I knew that I was about to work in something else than steel industry. And that's how I entered in the art school of Metz in 1981. And it was a time where Metz, yes, it's a great town not too far from here. And it was a moment where some movies like Tron were in the movie,
Tron.
in the theater. Yes, Tron, the first one. And also Star Trek 2, yes. And it was the beginning of 3D 3D development. The first softwares were functioning. The people of Star Trek 2 were making the Genesis sequence. I saw how they were working on it, and I was making a lot of pictures, photography. It was my specialty, but I wanted to work in 3D. So I bought an Amiga, Commodore Amiga, and I used the first software on. I used Videoscape 3D, which was a little father of Lightwave 3D, new tech, which I still use today. And I was beta tester of some softwares, the first 2D and 3D software. Imagine 3D of Mike Alvorson, Aura, which was a 2D software, and next time I was working on Silicon Graphics. Yes, Action 3D, which does not exist anymore.
This is amazing. And, I didn't know you were a 3D artist. That's amazing.
Oh, okay. Many parts of the movie are made in 3D. I have made many industrial films for the French Institute of Steel Industry, for Dassault Industry. I was also making work from the black box of the airplanes who crash. Every time an airplane was crashing, a Boeing or something, they gave me the data, and I was making a movie from the data coming out of the black box. Yes, it was in 91. Mm-hmm.
My father works for Boeing. I'm from Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, yes, Seattle, Washington. Okay.
Yeah, and my father worked his whole life, 30 plus years for Seattle, for Boeing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yes, I had the complete 3D model of the Boeing 767.
Oh, wow.
It went out. Yes. It was a very huge database.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you're talking about all these computer things, you know, in the late 80s, the 90s, and you're talking about these 3D modeling programs, and to run that stuff, you can't just have your basic computer. You have to have a really good computer, and that stuff is not cheap. I mean, so I can understand that you probably spent a lot of money just for the hardware alone.
Oh, it was not my hardware. I was working in different companies. When you wanted to touch those machines, you had to work for free because it was too much expensive. So at night, when the machines didn't function, I was authorized to use them sometimes. So Silicon Graphics, the machines were expensive, but they were little machines compared to the machine we have today. And it was really complicated. When you were generating a sequence, you had to sleep in front of the machines because it was full of bugs. The software didn't function. Full of bugs, you had to restart the machine all the time. Oh, it was awful. 20 minutes for one frame. Oh,
well, oh my God, 20 minutes.
Yes.
To render a whole sequence would be just days, right?
Yes, weeks.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's insane. I mean, the amount of hardware that you probably were working with is just amazing.
Yes. I know everything about the Genesis sequence for Star Trek because I knew the people who were working on it. They told me how it was. I have pictures and stories about the Genesis sequence. It was weeks of work.
Right. I mean, that some of the stuff from the Genesis sequence were just beautiful computer graphics for the especially for the time. Just some of the there's a lot of flames and fire going on there. A lot of bright, beautiful colors. Some of my favorite movies were movies like Dune. Dune, right? 1982. And you know, in those types of movies, you have a lot of and Star Trek as well. You have a lot of modeling, but not on the computer. I mean, it's just a little model going by and they're just filming it. And then, so it was actually, it seemed to me very little computer graphics. But yeah, when you put it all together, there is a lot of sequences in even that film that were definitely made on the computers. Mm-hmm. So, can you tell us a little bit more about your education and your work?
Yes, I made the School of Art of Metz with photography and sculpture, and later, at the same time, I was making a lot of photography about the end of steel industry. So I watched the blast furnace falling, etc. And then I was interested by the history of this. And I entered again in university 10 years later to make a history of steel industry, of technical education in steel industry between 1908 and 1970, because we were invaded by the Germans 2 times. And so we had German education, French, German, and then French. So it was my period and study. So I'm graduated also in history of steel industry. So I wrote many things about boring things, not very interesting things about technical formation, education of young people in steel industry. But Apollo 20 is my first fiction story. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about your childhood dreams with as far as sci-fi goes? Can you tell us about some of the things that you were really really interesting to you as a boy?
Oh, Chad, it's 100% about space, because I am born in 1962, and it was a stardate. I am born at stardate 401. This means 1 year after Yuri Gagarin went to space. So when I was a child, I was always hearing about John Glenn, the Gemini program. Every time at the news we had Gemini program, Apollo program. So when I was 7 years old, I was in front of my TV when Neil Armstrong was on the moon. So it was space, Apollo program, moon program, every time.
Yeah.
And so I watched Star Trek the first time on the Luxembourg TV, because the French TV had not Star Trek. So I
was it in English or was it in
in French. Yes,
French,
in Luxembourg it's in French, yes. And my parents brought me to the theater to see movies for children, like The Book of Jungle, and I saw the trailer of The Planet of the Apes, and I thought to my parents, I want to see this movie, King Kong, Planet of the Apes. So I was sci-fi. So my childhood was interested by sci-fi. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to discuss that was because what happened in 2007 when we had the account with the retired AFB and let's see, what was the other one called? Let's check here. Let's see here. Well, I don't know, but when that happened, something magical happened in the world at that time. Again, we have this big sci-fi theme, this big space theme in our world, in all the way from the 60s all the way into now the 2016s. But I think people's imaginations are always fascinated when it comes to aliens and when it comes to what is possible and what could it be true? Is there some alien civilization out there? And when we hear just a notion, an idea about it, we think, our minds tell us that, there's a great chance it could be true. We want to believe it, and that's the interesting thing about what you created. When it happened, there was so much controversy. So many people not only believed that it was true, including myself. When I first saw it, I thought I was a believer. I was a total believer. Because there's that thing in your mind when you see something like that, you want to believe.
Yes, it's very interesting. I was not reading everything about the forums. When I made it, it was the 1st of April, and later I had no time to read everything on the forum, like Above Top Secret or Got Like Production. I tried 1 or 2 times to connect to the forum, and I was banned when I tried to explain what I did. Yes, and the NASA banned also me from the 18 site. Yes, I've been blocked by the NASA 2 months. When I wrote to them, they told me, we believe that your stuff come from our server. They sent a message like this. The day after, they blocked me. So I told me, what am I able to do? I'm writing a sequence, I'm doing a sequence, and they say it comes from our server. Yeah. But I think it was something like an automatic message or something. And later they unblocked me. But I know that the background of the whole story, science does not provide the good answer. So everybody is searching for something else.
Right.
Many people feel helpless or alone.
Yeah.
And you cannot do something else that raising your hand in the dark and asking for help, and a new philosophy, a new order, new idea, new culture. We need that. It's something curiosity is in mankind. That's why we try to see above the horizon, behind a wall, behind a keyhole. We want to see many things. We are curious.
So this this story that you created, one of the reasons why it's so great is because when it came out, there was this question as to, is it real? And you fooled everyone. I mean, in my mind, you tricked everyone into believing that this is real. And that's how I know that you are one of the greatest artists of our time, because everyone believed that it was real, and including myself at the time. And so that's how I know that I can compare you to some of the greatest science fiction writers of our time, like Ray Bradbury, who created so many science fiction dreams, you know, these science fiction dreams and stories that could take us to places that we can only imagine. But you brought us a video, which is even better, and that's what makes you a great modern artist and filmmaker. But yeah, it was truly amazing. And the following, there was literally millions of hits on these videos, and so many stories came. And even now, when you check the videos now, there is a large number of people. Half of them say, oh, it's not real, we know it's not real. But there's still a large number of people that still believe that it's real.
Yes, it's because I made some of the videos like original reports from the Apollo missions, because I have all the hours filmed by every mission. I have a collection of DVD, every minute of 16 film, I have them all. So I've seen all the reports of Gemini, I have them. So I wanted to post dry pictures, dry videos like the original one. I know how they were made. And there was this original picture from the NASA server. That's why they blocked me, because they had a huge number of connections, and their server was down, because there was a server dedicated to selenology, and there was one or two pictures from the Isaac crater with a strange cigar-shaped object.
Yes.
So it's a real picture from the NASA. And I saw this picture before making the movie, and it was blurry. And so I made the sculpture of the cigar, because I wanted to see it clearly sharp. So the first thing I made, it's a huge sculpture of the object. I wanted to see it clearly sharp. I wanted to see the original cigar. So I was sculpting it.
It is a beautiful image that you made, and it's amazing how so many people questioned its authenticity. You know, when people question something's authenticity, that just tells us that it was very well done. So yeah, your photo editing skills are quite good, I think.
Yes. But Chad, you must know one thing. I don't recognize all the Apollo 20 videos on YouTube. Sometimes I see Apollo 20 videos which I didn't make them. Some are black and white with aliens walking. I didn't make them. And I had only one account on YouTube, and this account was hacked very quickly, and the videos were pulled out, and my mail was hacked also. So my mail was destructed, so I could not connect anymore, and I can still not connect to the retired AFD account, which still exists. So the video has been pulled out. Somebody pulled a new one about Nibiru, something. So a lot of things happened. In April, May, yes. Because my password was easy to find. It was the name of my cat, and it was visible on Facebook. So somebody tried it. It was Omega, so up.
My God.
Yes.
That's a crazy story.
Yes.
That was going to be one of my questions, is how many video views did you have? But obviously, maybe you don't know because you didn't have access.
Yes, 2,700,000. The last time I was counting, before they were deleted, it was 2,700,000 connection. At this time, YouTube did not put money to French people. It was the beginning of YouTube. They had only 1 or 2 years. So I had never a sense of or penny. It was not my purpose. But yes, a lot of connections. And before connecting with you, I have typed Apollo 20 on Google.
Yeah.
And I saw 15 million pages. And I typed Apollo 11, the original mission with Buzz Aldrin and Armstrong. And I see only 6 million. So 6 million for the real mission and 15. So people,
it's really amazing.
Yes, astronauts collecting rocks on the moon does not interest people.
Right.
And astronauts finding a sleeping beauty alien, so 15 million. So science with rocks and geology, that's boring. People need something else.
You know, and that's another thing that made me seek you out and contact you, is because there's so many people talking about you and talking about what you did, but there's not so many people talking to you directly like I am. Yes. And that's one of the reasons why I had to do this interview with you, because I realized it's not out there. This interview is not there. It doesn't exist. Why? You know, what's going on? I have to figure out, find the truth. And I you know, maybe you can shed some light on that. Why is this like one of the first times that you've been able to interview with someone?
I think that many people were afraid to be deceived, maybe, because I had 2 contacts with people from Germany on Facebook, and I answered to them. I said it's a creation, a fiction, and they disappeared. A journalist from
they don't believe it. They don't even believe you, right?
A lot of people do not believe me because I have somebody in Japan.
That's the crazy thing.
I sent to him. Yes. He is always writing, asking me the phone number of William Rutledge, the astronaut. And I always tell him, I don't have, it's a fiction. Believe me, 2 weeks ago, I took this. I made a print, a mold. It's like this, rubber, okay? This is the original head of Mona Lisa. I made a second exemplary. I sent to him in Japan.
You sent it
a print to be, and I wrote to him, I don't want to fool you, it's a fiction, believe me.
Right.
He's a biochemist. And he received the head, and 1 week ago, he wrote to me and he said me, it's a good replica of the head in the movie. I told him, it's not a replica, it's a head.
Right.
So yes, people want to believe, some want to believe absolutely. And many people were afraid to be deceived. And I had a contact with another journalist.
Yeah.
When I showed him the head, no contact anymore. He wanted to do an interview. I showed him a picture of the head in rubber, and dead. You are the only one who are talking to me. Yes.
See, that's why this fucking world is so crazy. It's insane. How is it possible that I'm the only one? It's amazing.
Yes, 15 million pages, and you are the only one to talk to me directly.
That's how I know we're living in the Matrix, right? Right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I know this is not real. Nothing's real. My name's Chad Baxter. Chad Baxter is interviewing the first guy to interview the guy who made the alien Mona Lisa. It's not possible. This is crazy.
After 15 millions of connection, you are only one guy to talk to me.
That's insane. And let's just be clear, you should have all the credit and all of the media, the proper media interviews that you haven't had in the future. So I hope that after this, maybe you can get a little more recognition for the amazing work that you've created.
Yes, but at the beginning, I didn't want to expose myself because I wanted the art thing, the complete work thing, be an anonymous sculpture. Like the middle-aged artists, they never signed a sculpture. I wanted all the reports from the space mission to be alone. I had a contact with a TV crew from Japan. They made a documentary inviting this woman, Amy Title Shira, so-called specialist, not a journalist, not a historian, but she's writing silly things, but and she was like the space police of the NASA. She's telling it's bad, it's a hoax. Okay, they called me and they asked me if I was, if I had to be paid for the movies. I said no, I'm not the astronaut. I'm not from the NASA. So now I think I didn't want to deceive also the people, but I didn't want to fool anybody. But it's a strange story.
Right. I mean, of course, so you're saying that, from the beginning, of course you wanted to deceive, right? From the beginning. That was your plan. And see, that was the genius of the plan. But then after a while, you wanted to be known for what
only since the month of August. You know why? When I got your message, I got 90 messages. And the last one was telling me, happy anniversary. It is the 40th anniversary of your flight to the moon. And I didn't even recall this story. I was trying to understand what anniversary it was. And one guy was telling me that the night of the launch, he saw my rockets going to space. And one moment I thought I had a magical pen. I write a story, and in the past it happened really. So I had the whole story, because at the beginning I wanted to make a very long movie, 4 hours, alone. Yeah. And I was not able to work alone. So I contact one or two artists. I think they have used a part of the story. I have not made all the interview. I'm credited. On the Wikipedia, it's written that I've made an interview on a forum. I never done this.
Yeah.
And the guy from Italy, he has interviewed 3 different Rutledge astronauts. I don't know where he finds them. I bought the book recently. 2 weeks ago, I've bought Apollo 20, The Disclosure. I'm not a Moonwalker Delta 166. I don't know who he interviewed. But so I had the complete story, which was very big block, because I have written all the past of William Rutledge, Leonard Snyder, the Russian astronaut also.
Yes.
In my book, he is named Vladimir Makarov. But I was inspired by Vladimir Komarov.
Yeah.
I have tried to contact his daughter, because his daughter has a Twitter account, but I could not join her.
So some of the names of the people that you created, some are fictional characters and some are actual people then.
Yes.
So who is real and who is fictional then? I guess you can share with us.
I am always afraid to deceive people. When I had to find the names, I went to my spam box, and I had a first message of a guy who wanted to sell me Viagra, and it was William Rutledge. I took the name, I put him in the mission. Yes.
The name of the, hold on. So
he's a specialist of Viagra and penis stiffness, yes.
The name of the guy.
Yes.
The name of the guy who, so William Rutledge was a guy in your spam box who was trying to sell you Viagra?
Viagra. And the girl, Leona Snyder, wanted to send me a special pump to enlarge my penis. It was the second message in my spam box.
Oh my God. Okay, so we have to do another interview, and you have to show, or just send me the files later. Send me a screenshot of if you have it, if you can find it, that would be amazing.
Because it was on my Yahoo account, and my Yahoo account was hacked. But I didn't make it. When I'm writing fiction, I always find my names in the spam box, because they are using ordinary names. And I didn't know, but there was an original William Rutledge in the NASA. There is a foundation William Rutledge in the NASA. I ignore this. But they are Rutledge everywhere. But later I have made the whole story of Leonard Snyder, which is a big story. She comes from Rwanda. She makes herself pass for a boy to study in Europe.
And this is the black woman?
Yes, the black woman.
Okay.
In my book, she is Leona Mucasano. She make herself Léon Sano to go to Belgium, and Léon Sano becomes Leona Snyder when she has American nationality.
Leona Snyder. Okay, I'm gonna Google this real quick and see if anything pops up, because I remember seeing all the pictures of her when I researched this a long time ago. Leona Snyder. Okay. Oh, it comes right up. Leona Snyder, astronaut. This is how famous this stuff is.
Oh my god.
But let's see here. I don't see this black woman though. It's not coming up with not much. It just comes up with the alien Mona Lisa picture. But
okay.
All right. Anyways. All right, so who else? And then you got the Russian guy, right?
Yes. When I wrote the story, I wanted the American-Russian mission, and I wanted a Russian astronaut, but I had not chosen the name. I wanted to use Leonov first, but Leonov was alive, and I didn't want to disturb him.
Yeah.
Yes. So in my book, it is William Makarov. But it's clearly when you read who is this man, what he did, you can recognize Vladimir Komarov. Mm-hmm.
Right. If there's a video on YouTube called Apollo 20 Debunked, and a lot of the things that they're trying to debunk is the cockpit of the spaceship, the inside of the spaceship. So, can you tell us a little bit how you created those scenes?
Okay, I had problems to create this scene because I made the full cockpit in full scale.
Wow!
As big, yes, in wood. It's I still have the pictures about this.
Wow.
And it was too big. Now it's destruct. I only kept the panels with the switch.
Yeah.
So one part of the cockpit is real, full scale, and another part is made in 3D. I have used a match moving program to mix them. If you want to do something, yes, you have to mix little model, huge model, and 3D. It's a mix of the three.
Yeah.
And there is a character filmed in front of a green screen. It's a mix of 4 different techniques. Yes.
So how did you recreate the panels?
Oh, the blueprints are easy to find. It's a plexiglass with perforations, and I had a lot of switch. So I still have the picture. I can show them. If you want, I can send them.
I definitely want to see in the next time or whenever. I would definitely like to see. You're saying you have pictures of the structure that you made in the woods. That would be amazing to see that, and anything about like the panels. That would be great to see.
I will print them so I can show them here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, this could be a nice series. I think people would like to see and share and learn about this story, and we can open it up a little bit so people can, understand, what's really going on here.
Okay. If you want, I think I have the panels in my basement. I can take them if you want.
Oh, really?
Yes, or maybe the next time if you want.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. That would be amazing. I think people would love to see that. Can you tell us about some of the actors in the film? I think there's just 1 or 2 people, right? Are you in the film, or?
Yes, I am Leonov. At one moment, I had a rubber mask of Leonov on me, but no.
So you had a rubber face mask?
Yes, I have sculpted the face of Leonov. And I like in the movies, but now the videos you can see are 3-dimensional characters. I have the big spacesuit, but it was too complicated to film myself inside the spacesuit because it is made exactly like the original. It was occasion for me to have a full-scale model of the spacesuit, and it takes me 1 hour to have it on me.
Oh my God!
Because it is made exactly the same straps, etc. 1 hour to go inside. So I can put it on next time only the front part, but it's painful to go inside. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So many actors like Leonard Snyder are 3-dimensional actors.
Right.
It does not exist. I have the 3D model on my screen. Yes.
Right. So you're the only actor in the film, and you're wearing the spacesuit, and you're wearing some kind of mask that you made.
Yes.
Some kind of rubber mask or something. Do you still have that?
Yes, I have. I think I have the old Leonov mask. Yes.
That would be pretty cool to see that. Can you show us the the Mona Lisa again and tell us a little bit about her and does she have an actual name and maybe just anything you want to share?
Yes, this is a face used in many parts of the movie. So there was 3 different heads. One with cybernetic stuff on the head. I still have it in my basement. And I don't know why I sculpt. Many people say that she is Asiatic. Maybe. I don't know. But she is... it's a complicated series of layers because I wanted skin, shiny skin, and the lips.
Yeah.
There are hair. I took some part of hair.
I thought she looked... Yes?
I don't know why I put here this thing. Many people... I saw a German guy who is making study about this part. I don't know why I made that. Sometimes
I thought she looked very like Egyptian-like or very African face.
Yes.
And a lot of people about the kind of third eye thing. Like, there's so much speculation about it.
Yes.
What can we say? It's just too much to speak about. But and then the interesting thing was how you had the bones. You had the bones over the eyes, right?
Yes.
And going with the mouth. Now you said there was 3 different masks. So I see a picture here, and one of the one with the bones. Her mouth is open?
Yes.
I see.
It's a freaky mask. When I made the videos about Mona Lisa, I had not the time to put everything back in my cellar. I went to work, and during the day, when I was not at home, 2 robbers came to visit the house here. They entered and steal everything in every house here. But not mine. So I tried to enter in my kitchen because I made the video in my kitchen.
Yeah.
The cadaver was on the table of my kitchen. With the 2 heads cut. They tried to enter. They saw the head. They went away. The police told me that they were seen at the border of Germany, going back to Germany. So I think there is a robber in Germany who is saying, don't go to steal in France. They eat snails, they eat frogs, and they have cadavers in the kitchen. So, thanks to Mona Lisa, nobody steal something in my house.
That's amazing. How did you think of the idea to put the bones on the face?
Oh, because I think if you have to control a spacecraft, maybe you can use some reflex, some speed, muscles to control. When I'm using the PS4 with the controller, it's not so well, so I wanted something controlled by the eyes, muscles, reflex, little things. It could be a good system to control the spacecraft functions.
Yeah. It's genius. It's really amazing. It's like it's almost like a mummified body. and it was some way of mummifying her, basically preserving her, and it's just and then it's almost kind of scary too and creepy.
Yes.
And it's like it's very reminiscent of like the Alien films, you know.
Oh yes. I did it very quickly. The cybernetic stuff is things for cleaning the ear. Only it's not.
Wait a minute. It's not bones. You're telling me it's earwigs that you clean your ears with?
Yes. It was done very quickly. In maybe half an hour, it was stuck, and but it's frightening me today. It's in my basement. Every time I see the head, I said, "Oh my God!" It's really frightening. Yes.
Yeah, it's scary as hell. Really, honestly, it is really creepy. A lot could be done. I think you could definitely make an amazing movie just with a few scenes, you know, from this that you've created. I mean, it could definitely snowball. It could be bigger. It could be very popular. Yes. I think.
Yes. But I'm still hesitating about this because maybe I will destroy the magic of the whole thing. When I buy a movie, I don't like to see the bonus on the DVD, the making of. Because you always see the actor saying, "Oh yes, it was good. The director was cool. It was like reacting because everything was so cute." I prefer the first King Kong of 1933. You don't see making of. It's pure magic, and you don't see all the crew speaking. So maybe I will make a video because I have filmed the making of. When I have built the LEM cockpit, I have the whole sequence when I'm building it in time lapse. So I could make a video like this, yes.
But no, I'm saying like a real movie. But even if you didn't make a real movie about it, you know what? The greatest thing about what you've created is that it's almost better than a movie because when you watch a movie, you know it's not real usually, you know. But this is almost better than a movie because there's that whole world out there of people who actually believe that it's real. So, yeah, I guess if you were to make it something better than a movie, to continue in this format, would be to make things of the same nature and just release them on Facebook or something or somewhere, and then just fool people and just make them, you know, just make something amazing like you've done here and just continue on. And like more of the city, like if there was a city there, I don't know, you know, more of the ship, more of, you know, whatever. And I think, you know, just things like that would be way better than a movie because it creates a lore, you know, it creates just something that, you know, like I said, as in Ray Bradbury, you know, the stories that he created, they just stick in your mind and you're never going to forget them. But this is almost better than those because you think it's real, you know?
Yes, this is true because I am more, I like Ray Bradbury more than Arthur C. Clarke. Arthur C. Clarke is a hard science author, but Ray Bradbury does not try to make illusion. But I think...
Right, he just talks about it as if as if everything already happened, and this is a real story. And it's.
There is a huge difference between some movies now who try to put the imaginary and make it real, and I think I am trying to do the inverse thing, to make the reality fall inside the imaginary, because. Taking the imaginary and bringing it to reality, it's fascism. It's destructing the imaginary. But I prefer to take all the people and make them fall inside the illusion, inside the imaginary. And I think it was the key of the success. I didn't try to make illusion, but to make fall people inside the story. And they want to stay inside the story because we want this story to be true. An old astronaut living somewhere in Africa, he has found many things on the moon, because they have found a lot of things. If you have the English version, I hope I will finish the English version. You will see what is happening on the moon. Every time they are going out, 8 times they found new things. And I wanted to make something new in sci-fi, because exploration of an alien spaceship, you have a Rendezvous with Rama or The Gateway of Frederick Paul. And I told to myself, I want to do better than they did. So in Rendezvous with Rama, the astronaut makes the exploration, but they are not talking how they feel after this experience. And in my book, there are 2 big chapters of what is happening when they come back to the Earth. They are changed physically and psychologically. And for me, it was the most interesting part of my book. What happened when they are going back to the Earth? Because in 1979, Neil Armstrong went to France, and he was interviewed 3 hours. It's the only interview with 3 hours of Neil Armstrong. He didn't like that. And people were phoning to him on the TV, and they were always, during 3 hours, asking the same question. Did it change your mind? Did you believe in God before the flight? Do you believe in God now? What changed in your mind? And he was always answering, nothing changed. I'm the same. I don't know. And people were not satisfied. During 3 hours, the same question was coming. We would like to be changed. It's a fantastic experience. So my book is a lot on this. What is changed on these 3 astronauts after the flight? There is 1 Russian, an African woman, and an American citizen. They are deeply changed.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a key factor of the story, is when people are changed. Because I think the story also has changed us too. Your story, definitely has changed me. I mean, it's something changes inside of you when you just have a new idea or a new realization. Wow, could it be? Could it be true? Like this amazing alien civilization on the moon, or they crashed on the moon or something. Can you tell us more about that story in your mind? What happened there? What do you think? How did this spacecraft come to be on the moon, kind of thing?
Oh, in my book I have the complete story. At the end of the Apollo 20 mission, they have found a lot of things. There is people analyzing the facts, what they have found, and I must tell you that I have written Apollo 19, Apollo 20, and Apollo 21. Wow. Apollo 19 is a mission badly prepared. The astronauts go to space, and after 60 hours, they disappear. But in fact, they go to the moon. They are the first explorers of the spaceship. And they are not prepared because of political reasons explained in the book. They are unprepared, and they all die. I think they all die. I have to write now the book of Apollo 19. And it's a mystery. After the Apollo 20, it's not possible to say if those extraterrestrials are cool, or if they were cool, or if for survival reasons they were doing bad things. There is a connection with the Roswell experience, with abductions during World War II in the Nazi camps during the bombing of Dresden, and there are connections to.
What is the base story of how the ship arrived, or why there is only 1 woman? Can you give us more about that?
Okay. So it will be a spoiler of the book.
Okay. You don't want to spoil it.
I can tell you if you want, because it's always a pleasure to read it, even if you know the story. It's a wrecked ship. The ship has not to be on the moon. It's a destructed and wrecked ship milliards of years ago. And those people inside the ship, they had to find a way to survive. And that's how they made some choice to use the human race as for replacing their organs. It's difficult to know exactly, still a mystery. They are living longer using parts of human bodies. They have something to live longer, which exists inside the ship, and at the same time they are reproducing, having children inside the big spaceship, but they are not numerous people, aliens inside the ship, so they have genetic problems. That's why Mona Lisa has a strange bones here on the frontal part. So it's a very, very long story. Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned a lot about using the human race and the genetic modification, using the body parts from the humans. And this is really reminiscent to me of Zecharia Sitchin. Are you familiar with his work?
Yes.
He wrote the 12th Planet. He wrote the Book of Enki.
Giants.
The big giants. And I want to do more serious interviews of this nature of people who are still alive, who are in this genre. And one of the people that I want to interview is, of course, the great Zecharia Sitchin. And I think he's from Israel. I'm not sure. But it's a very similar situation because people are unsure. Is this based off of fact, or is this just a story? People have come to kind of just accept that, well, this, for example, the Book of Enki, and it just goes way back to the beginning of civilization. But he says that it's based off 10,000-year-old ancient tablets that they found, that he's found. And that's another reason why I want to interview him, because even if it's not true, the story itself is absolutely amazing. So, and it's similar, you know, the story about the Anunnaki. They came from another planet. The planet has an elliptical orbit around our solar system. Eventually, it's going to come in. He even wrote a story about how the Earth was created. You have Tiamat and this other planet, and the whole thing is amazing.
Yes, I have read his books, and he tried to find good conclusions with some missing parts. He's guessing a lot of things. I think he's wrong when he's describing an alien race which try to collect gold. I'm not sure it's a problem because I'm an astronomer. I'm working with NASA on a space program of detection about the moon, and gold is a very common metal in space. You have more gold in asteroids. It's not difficult to. So I think he's wrong on some things, but about the name of the stars used in Mesopotamia. It is clear that we are wrong when using some names and translations of Mesopotamian text. I have a connection with a French researcher who try to identify the Mesopotamian names, Sumerian names, and planets and celestial bodies, and there is a lot of mystery. So Zecharia Sitchin, I think he's not wrong every time. I think he's right on many parts of the text.
So do you think it's his stories? Do you think it's a lot of fiction or it's a lot of fact? I mean, what is your opinion on these things that he said?
As there is a lot of facts, because there are some tablets which are real mysteries, like tablets which is called the K8688. I saw it last year on the British Museum. I went to see it, yes. Like many people, I try to do a translation because I have learned how to read Sumerian. It's very difficult because, 598 different characters in there. language. Wow. So it's complicated. So you are never sure of anything. But this tablet is a mystery.
Wow.
Teaching is giving his own interpretation, and he is saying that we have 7, 8, 9 planets, but I don't think that aliens coming from somewhere else are using the same numerotation of planets that we are. I think he's wrong on some parts, but there are a lot of mysteries about Sumerian and Mesopotamian. The fact that they are using mathematics based on the 6. We have $10, $5 because we have 5 fingers. If we would have 6 fingers, we would have money of $6, $12. So there are a lot of mysteries about this numerotation of mathematical things in Sumerian and Mesopotamian culture.
Well, I've researched after reading his book, The Book of Enki. I've researched his information as best I could. Basically, as far as original documents, there is not one tablet, and that's the case. Is there's not one tablet, quote, the Book of Enki, that he translated. He says that he translated many different tablets and put together the story. But in my research, the only one that I was actually able to find, the only real tablet, was the Sumerian King's List. And that is an actual tablet that it's in museums. And it shows all the dates of how long some of these kings were in power for. And according to that, some of them lived for just a long time, like 10,000 years, 24,000 years. Just, it goes on and on and on.
Yes.
And that's the thing that really fucks with people's minds. They can't perceive that. They can't believe that that's real. No one believes. I mean, I believe it, but like the normal people, they don't believe that someone's gonna live for 200, 500, 1,000, 10,000 years. They don't believe that. That's the most fascinating thing about that whole saga.
In fact, there are a lot of tablets speaking about the kings, not only the king list. There is one French researcher, which is not a UFO researcher, but there are a lot of tablets speaking, and a lot of culture giving the same numerotation of years, 10,000 years, etc. I'm not saying it's foolish.
Yeah.
When you are an historian, I am an historian. I've been official historian of modern things. You have to use the facts. You have to use the writings. You don't have to put half of the writings in the trash can. You must accept everything you have. You have to put it in the context, and you have to accept, and even it's unbelievable. You have to work on it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not so... in history, 2,000 years, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's not a very long period, yes. I could explain why, but when you look the size of the railway tracks, it's 1 meter, 40 centimeters, 43 centimeters. It's the same enlargement that 200 years before Christ between the wheels on the Roman carriage. It has not changed in 2,000 years. So 2,000 years, it's nothing, because it's exactly the same dimensions. 2,000 years, it's nothing for a historian. So we have the text, we have to work with the text. In Egypt, in Mesopotamian, in the Sumerian, there is a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I, as far as, going back 2,000 years and then going back 4,000 years, you have to speak about religion a little bit. And for me, I tend to believe that, with Stitchin and his analyzation of the facts, it wasn't gods, it was real people. It was people that was there. It wasn't some invisible god up there. And that being said, I have to look at those facts, and going back 4,000 years ago to the time, 6,000 years to the time of Moses, on Mount Sinai, creating the 10 Commandments, I just think maybe the guy was a liar and he just, or maybe he's hearing things, I don't know. But those tablets were made by him. He wrote the 10 Commandments. Whatever happened, he fucking made those tablets. You know what I mean? And that's the facts. I mean, but now we have wars and people are dying because of this one guy, What do you think about that?
Oh, I think you have to put all the text. Moses, his story.
He wrote most of the Bible, Moses. He wrote a lot of it.
Yes. And he was inspired by old text which existed on tablets. I think he made a copy and paste of some interesting stuff.
Well,
and, he was reading text.
Exactly, that's exactly my theory. He was an Egyptian highborn, and he had access to the great Egyptian libraries of the time, and I feel that's where he read that information in the libraries, the ancient libraries, and then proceeded to write the books and the 10 Commandments and the texts. And I think the reason he did it was because at that time those people were fucking crazy. Just that culture and they had to control the women. They had to control everything. So they needed something, they needed to make something. So, but yeah, I think he definitely got the information from another place.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, well, maybe this is a good place to stop the interview.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with any of your fans or some of the audiences that might be watching this interview?
I think that many people have to be careful about all the astronaut Rutledge giving interviews, because there are a lot of people who claim to be the original William Rutledge. So people have not to pay to interview an astronaut named William Rutledge. And maybe you have to put on the video, warning, this content maybe harm you, because some people may be harmed because they will know that William Rutledge wanted to sell me Viagra, and be careful. No.
Yeah, so it's definitely not the real guy unless he's the guy who tried to sell you Viagra. Then we know. Then it's the real William Rutledge, right?
Yes. In my book I use, and this is in the story, I use many stories I have known. Or I was in Rwanda. I had this house. It was my house, not the house of William Rutledge. That's why I have all the pictures. And so I am still using part of my history of what I have lived to make people fall inside the story. That's why my electronic book have original things coming from Rwanda, the house of William Rutledge, etc. But it's a fiction story, I can confirm that.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of the book, I'm writing, you can choose to believe that I am a kind of Snowden who is putting the real story in the sci-fi book, not to go in jail. But I think I will have problem if I go one time in the United States. I think if I go to an airport in the United States, I will have a couple of days to make in jail.
For real? That's crazy. Well, maybe we can fix that, man. I think you should definitely. I think you should definitely be a famous person in America for good reasons, not for bad reasons. I think.
Yes, I made America great again, like Donald Trump. An American mission on the moon, Apollo 20, exploring an alien spaceship. It's good for Russia and America. Right.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, Mr. Thierry Speth, I'm so happy to meet and interview with you today.
Okay.
It's been a great conversation with you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very happy. So
yes, me too. It's the first time I'm speaking about this.
Wow, yeah, it's amazing that I have the pleasure to interview you. I'm very happy.
Okay, me too.
Well, have a great rest of your night, and I'm gonna let you go. But thank you very much, Mr. Speth. I appreciate your time.
Okay, me too.
All right, take care.
Okay, thank you.
Live long and prosper.
You know how to do this. I can't do it.
Yeah, live long and prosper, my friend.
Okay.
Okay, take care.
Bye. Thank you.